Good afternoon, good morning. Good afternoon to our people on the East Coast. Good morning to our people here in DFW in the Central Region. I'm VR Small. I am the founder and the CEO for the Veteran Women's Enterprise Center. Today is a special day. Our summer masterclass series, Next Level Business Transformation, our fellows are graduating, and this is their finale. Woo! So I am so proud of all 5 of these ladies. They have gone through a whirlwind of sessions every Monday and Friday and early at the crack of dawn on Saturday morning. And they have been 100% on board. They have been consistent. They have been persistent. And I am excited for them to tell you their story. At the Veteran Women's Enterprise Center, our goal is to help women veteran entrepreneurs and female military spouse scale for success. And we don't check a box. You know, it's not about just coming to a meeting or coming to an event, but we really want to see these women transform. And so this program is near and dear to our heart. And so I hope you're comfortable. You know, maybe you brought your lunch, you're having an early lunch, you have something to drink. This particular presentation should be moving and it should be inspiring. So I'm military, I'm systematic, so we're going to go in alphabetical order. And our first client or our first fellow to present will be Sharon. Sharon, let me know if you need anything from me to help you get ready to go.
Okay, I just need to know how to send it out so that people can get it.
We didn't hear you, VR.
Just share your screen. They'll need to jump on Facebook Live now.
Okay. There it is. Okay. I got it. And I'm ready.
Okay, share your screen.
Okay, let's see.
Take your time, we're good.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Sharon Covington, and my company is Covington's Consulting and Services. And I am a military spouse. That's how I became a person, someone that could participate in this program. It is exciting. It has been a fast track. My company does consulting services and training in safety and employment training. I came to Texas in October of 2015. Today is my 5th year anniversary of being in Texas, in Dallas, and then graduating from this program on top of that. I came here to bring what I have done in Florida for 12 years. So I have a proven model from Jacksonville, Florida. I graduated 150 students, 60% went to work, 10% went back to school, 3% opened their own cleaning company, and one gentleman, a 27-year veteran of the prison system, told me he wanted to work with juveniles in the system. So I introduced him to the chief public defender, and he was hired. So he went from being a product of the system to working with the state, and he'll retire in 3 more years working with juveniles. New Level Business Transformation, OMG, was a fast track and really had us going, but being accepted into the program just did so much for me because I was in the process of reweathering myself, revamping the business because of the pandemic. This is how I was operating before Nlbt. My first company I opened in 1994, so computers were new. We were saving things on a floppy disk. Don't laugh. I did my bookkeeping by ledger. Still no, don't laugh. Okay, spyware and what have you on a computer, seriously, that's how it was done. I had to make sure that I didn't let anybody look at my screen while I was working. And as far as marketing was concerned, cold calls, calling folks all the time, and reading the business journal to get leads. So technology, the first class, Dr. Alicia McKay with GXA, she broke that down like a fraction. She made me feel like she fed me with milk when it came to technology. And not only did I birth a cloud, but I now have my web group firewall. I've got my cloud business phone number. I got a CRM. What's a CRM? It's going to help me with my marketing. I'll be able to keep up with any and everybody that comes looking at my website. So that's exciting. But I am no longer intimidated by technology. Craig Beck of B2B CFO, financial continuity. He explained the balance sheet, the cash flow statement, profit and loss. Wow. I did my balance sheet, cash flow, and profit and loss for the program for the summer, and it all synced together. And as far as QuickBooks is concerned, I used to use it for just contractors, but now I am using QuickBooks Pro, and I can put all three businesses in there and keep up with the money for all three businesses. So thank you, Craig. Sales. So for me, when I used to do my sales forecasting, I just wrote down on the back of an envelope, I'm going to call this person, I'm going to check with this person, I'm going to go to this office, because when you're trying to get into with a company, especially a large company like CBRE or Liberty, these are project manager companies that are nationwide and they handle corporate buildings. Meeting the gatekeeper. I had to go in there and meet the gatekeeper, see if I could get in good with the gatekeeper so they could tell me who I need to talk to, who I need to call. But because of Debbie Razik of the sales company, I now can look at my suspect potential customers and start working on reeling them in. So I now have my forecast out for 5 years. Due to a car accident, 5 years is the most I'm looking at, because I still am at an age where I can retire at 65. Marketing Google style. Maria Duran with Google, she made me see just how Google operates and what they do. And it's a whole nother program. It was a wrap when she finished with how to search it and Google Maps and analytics and my business profile. So I have a Google business website that takes you to my regular PEP website, and it's just amazing. It's social media marketing. Okay, so my daughters, I have 3 daughters, and they were always saying, Mom, you need a cloud. I said, a cloud? Get a cloud for what? And social what? I'm not doing all that. But now that now that I understand it at 60 years old, it's like, you know what? You can't tell me anything. I might be able to tell you something now. Thank you, VR Small and the Veteran Women's Enterprise Center. VR has included me in everything she's done, and watching her put together the center and how she persevered has been amazing. she sent me an email for a grant with the Local Initiative Support Corporation, and I sent it off, and they awarded me a grant that's allowing me to take my program virtually to students. So this month, I do my first class for 8 weeks. I'm able to supply them all with a tablet and a hotspot from T-Mobile so that they don't have to worry about having the internet themselves. I will also be able to feed them every week from a program that that's going to supply me food for them every week. I sent my first intake form to the first student by email yesterday. So I'm excited. I also have my .com now. So that's my information on the screen, covingtonsconsulting.com, and that's my email address. So thank you, VR. Thank you for the Women's Center, and thank you to the ladies, the other ladies in the program, because they have really, I know sometimes we were on the phone and we were all crying. So thank you all.
Thank you, Sharon. That was awesome.
Thank you.
No, you shot stop. That was awesome. So let's give Sharon a round of applause. I am so excited for where your company is going. Congratulations again on getting that grant. I tell people all the time, make sure that you are connected. Our slogan is connecting you is what we do. But the only way that's going to happen is if you get connected. So make sure you visit our website at veteranwomensec.org. Get connected to our social media, all of which is Veteran Women SEC, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. The only thing that's not Veteran Women SEC is our Instagram, which is our full name, Veteran Women's Enterprise Center. Any information we get, we're sharing it because we want everybody to be successful. Even if you're not a part of our network, we want to make sure that you get the information that you need to succeed. That's part of our mission statement, that we provide our women with the resources they need to succeed. May sound cliche-ish, but it's what we do. It's what we live for. So we're so excited for Sharon. She's come out of the Stone Age. She's in the cloud. Woo! And she's got her business email address, which is so important, which helps you make and look professional when you're dealing with these people. They want to know you've got a real business. Her website is redone, and now she's using her analytics to really figure out who's trying to connect with her and why, and if those are real potential clients that she can engage. So I'm excited for where you're going, Sharon. She's a part of our military family as a military spouse. Thank you so much for your presentation. And our next presentation, and we're moving in alphabetical order so nobody gets mad, is going to be Ms. Bond. So you can go ahead and get set up, Bond, and let me know when you're ready. While Von's setting up, again, we want to make sure that you guys know this is our next level. Sharon said new, and I love that how she transposed it because it's new for her. This is like a new beginning. But the name of the program is actually Next Level Business Transformation. And we plan to take this program into 2020. So buckle up. We're not stopping this now. Von, are you ready?
Ready. Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you all for joining us in this magnificent moment of graduation. Can't see you, but we're glad that you're in attendance and supporting us. This has been a deliberate and intense journey, and I'll give you my before and after. So my career in safety actually began while I was serving with the United States Air Force. And I'm proud to say that that is still the only branch of our armed forces that has a full-time career in safety and health. So occupational safety and health risk management services is what we provide, primarily business to business corporations across industries and also governments and private organizations. I was awarded my first government contract during the period of this pandemic, and I'm really excited about that. Why does safety and health matters? Well, it's a legal obligation that employers must provide their employees with a safe and healthful work environment. The goal is that it's going to not only prevent fatalities, injuries, and property damages, but it also reduces liability. It brings morale to the work center, and it can also help with community collaborations. Excuse me. Beginning with technology, I was like Sharon, still with floppy disks back in a stone age, really relying on the systems that I had in place, and they were somewhat antiquated. I had a dedicated phone line, which was my cell phone. I did not have a separate system, and there was really no connection to my domain. So after our first session, I immediately looked for in the security that was needed, had that installed, moved over to a CRM, which I did have in the past, but was not utilizing it. And it's nothing worse than paying money for a service and you're not taking the courage to learn it. So, and thank Dr. Alicia for breaking those segments down and making them more understanding. The need to merge my email accounts was also second. And Dr. Alicia came and she excited us. She got us up, she got us moving. And I now play the song, Work Hard and Play Hard. The financials that were presented by Craig Beck with B2B CFO. Prior to this intense learning of financials, I was only using QuickBooks for my standing invoices. There was no consistent reviews throughout my money platform, and I really looked at it as cash in and cash out. Afterwards, I got a better understanding of the business filings. While I have a LLC, I couldn't even remember why I was informed that that was needed. Second to that, the need to look at cost of goods and the revenue and my inventory. I never considered my inventory as a part of my my payout. So that was definitely a light bulb moment, and the need for a separate bookkeeper. I leave everything with the accountant. So thank you, Craig, for moving me to the next level with that bookkeeping process. Sales, Miss Debbie Mazik. Miss Debbie was my auntie slap upside the head. She came to us with humor. She has a way of like right in your face, girl, what are you doing? Why are you doing it that way? So my sales were stagnant. I hadn't really pushed a lot out during this period of the pandemic. I really didn't have any sales strategies. And what was allowing me to be dependent on one particular industry. So I had to broaden my horizon and really think out of the box. Beginning to look first and foremost at my cash flow strategies and implementing those, not just relying on email marketing, but having the conversations, picking up the phone and talking to the deliverables decision maker, and looking for those referrals, looking at a rolling forecast where I wanted to be, and putting in place intentional ways every day of meeting that goal. So thank you so much, Miss Debbie. Marketing was presented by Maria Elena Duran. I really hadn't tapped into marketing. The website was there, was doing what it was doing. If people came to the website and reached out for more information, that's pretty much what I used it for. I wasn't searching for my audience. I never really thought to search to see what my competitors were doing. And now knowing that I can use that content to follow leads, and those leads are eventually going to turn into customers. Having the real-time conversions, looking at the analytics, and I realize I am not analytical, so that whole process of reading the charts, what is the message telling you? And looking at the negative word searches, how that also connects to the real-time conversions. And so that was awesome. Business Canvas by Miss Venus Quotes, that was a light bulb moment as well. I looked at that sheet, it had 9 blocks, and I said, I can't play tic-tac-toe with these 9 blocks. What am I supposed to do with this? Do I begin from the front to the back? So it was an uncharted territory for me. I didn't really understand those distribution channels. And again, I relied on business to business and organizations. Afterwards, I figured out those boxes, what needed to be in those boxes. My greatest takeaway was that knowing it is flexible, revisiting that business canvas often is very necessary because your times and season in business will change. She also highlighted for me the need to create brand awareness with the website. And again, she reiterated what was provided by Maria, researching your competitors, knowing what they're doing, using the words that they're using. And so my greatest takeaway with there and to be done is to become more active on social media. In conclusion, I want to give a great thank you from the depths of my heart to all of you that took part. You believed in us. You allowed us to begin just where we were. To our investors, to those that have supported broad and wide, I can't say thank you enough. Again, this was a deliberate journey. It was fast paced. We have put the work in. Going forward, we know within our group, there are still some things that we have to do. Thank you to our facilitators, our Facebook and social audience that has joined us week in and week out. And as VR says, getting connected. It is so very important. So again, kind thanks and safe regards to all of you.
Thank you, Vaughn. That was amazing. And while Vaughn brings down her screen, we have one of our expert presenters on Zoom with her. So I want to know if Alicia, do you want to say a couple of words?
Well, ladies, I had an opportunity to sit in the background and listen to you talk about how much your business was transformed. And that is amazing. I am so proud of each and every one of you. It's been great connecting with all of you and just being able to watch you from the moment that we started the class, and now how hopeful and joyful that all of you sound. We all know that being a business owner is a journey, and y'all have taken that journey, and I am so glad to have been a part of your journey. So I received all the well wishes and all the thank you. I will let you know my camera is off because I'm in hair and makeup, because I have a recording that I'm about to do in about an hour and a half for an entrepreneur summit. So I'm going to do this again very sent for another organization. And so y'all wish me well, but we are trying to build better businesses so that we as women and entrepreneurs can lift each other up, help each other out, and continue to encourage each other. Ladies, stay connected, and thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to just sit before you.
Thank you so much, Alicia. And she is doing some amazing things.
Thank you.
She just got a recent award. And so she is just, I don't want to say it wrong, but Alicia's always getting an award for something because she is out there. She is making sure that her name and her company name is out there. So it's not just about kind of sitting in your office, getting on your phone, pushing out. You need to be connected. You need to build your social capital. Sharon didn't even talk about her contract with DART. She came to a coffee and contract session we had. She finished her registration with DART. She met the young lady, Carmen, who was in charge of the program. They invited her to the DART Doing Business Academy. And the next thing you know, she bid it with the information that she gained, and she got a contract. So they're not even telling you the whole story, all of the pieces. And Bond talked about her government contract. Well, Bond came to us and said, this is crazy. I don't understand how to do this. So we connected her with one of our partners. But our partner said, well, that's not really my spirit either. So she connected her with another colleague who did what? Helped her get her contract together. And what? She won her first contract. And you heard Bond say she's been in business for years. She's not new. But sometimes as business owners, we just don't know what we don't know. And it's unfair to assume that people know things. What we know is what we do, okay? Vaughn knows training because that's what she's been trained to do. But she doesn't know everything about running a business. Sharon knows training. That's what she does. But she doesn't know everything about running a business. She doesn't know everything about putting in a contract. And that's why these types of hands-on programs that don't just give you an overwhelming amount of information, but let you get your hands in there, get that hand-on experience, transform those business systems so that you can be everything that you want to be, and you can literally take your business to the next level. So again, this is all about the ladies. I just have to jump in here all the time because they get me so excited. We're going to go a little bit out of alphabetical order so we make sure that Kelly gets on because she may have something that she has to handle. So Kelly, let me know when you're ready. You are up next. Awesome.
Hello, everyone. I'm Kelly Mumphrey. I'm the founder and CEO of Milkspace LLC. I'm so excited that I'm here with you all today with the Nlbt ladies. I'm the baby lady of the group. All these women are so professional. I've learned a lot from them. I've learned a lot from VR, and also all the guest speakers. So I just want to say thank you for the ladies. VR Small, thank you to you and all the investors and the sponsors that believe in us in advance. You didn't know us, you took a chance on us. So I just want to say thank you. And to the special presenters, I hope what I'm about to present makes you smile. I was a pupil of yours. And so I'm just going to jump right into it. Let me just move my screen out the way. Here we go. So here's my information up here. If anyone wants to check me out, you can visit www.milkspace.co. I'm currently in the relaunch phase. So if you visit the website, it's going to say kind of like under construction, but you can sign up and leave an email there. Okay. All righty. So before Milkspace really took this journey, I was going through a process as a new mom, a mom of little girls, a wife. I just had so much thing on my schedule to balance, and Milkspace kind of like took a back burner. So Milkspace was founded originally in 2018, actually. But after years, those 2 years of trying, I just really became depleted and without direction, just trying to manage everything. During that time, I was a full-time government employee when Milkspace was originally started, and just going to work every day, unfulfilled, knowing that I had something else to offer. Those 2 years was just really stressful trying to get Milkspace up and running. And I was ready to quit. I really was. I was ready to quit Milkspace. I was ready to quit my job. Just ready to quit being and going after who I knew that I was called to be. And that was truly an entrepreneur, living a life fulfilled. And so I actually did quit my job. And I was just so stressed after the 2 years being unfulfilled. And I knew it was time for a change. So I prayed. I'm a woman of faith, and I received my blessing. And VR Small, she came along and she told me in 2000, and I think it was 2019, we had originally connected, that there are so many opportunities out and about, but really in 2019 went and gone. And then 2020, we reconnected as well, but then COVID hit, and it was kind of like stagnant. I didn't have anything going on with Milkspace because Milkspace was a service, an in-face service, and there was nothing I could do. Like, what am I going to do? No one's going to have an event. No one is going to need Milkspace services to provide women with breastfeeding spaces. And so, again, COVID made its presence. It was here to stay. It still is here to stay, but nonetheless, what is my dream? Is my dream here to stay? And so VR, she's always on top of it, make sure, no matter what, still go after your dreams. And so although January 2020 came, we're here now today, and BWC introduced me about the Nlbt opportunity. So I was a little skeptical and reluctant to apply because now I'm a full-time teacher mommy. I have 2 little girls. And so it was just like, do I have the time? Do I have the drive to make it happen? And VR, she really assured me, yes, Kelly, you can do it. And now, in actuality, VR called me and was like, hey, this out here. You need to apply. And I'm glad I did. I'm really glad I applied. And I was overwhelmed and full of anxiety at first, but I took a leap of faith, and it was definitely worth it. So before we jump into my before and after, that was a little bit about me. I just want to say again, ladies, thank you, because you've been instrumental as well as part of this journey. And so our first session we had was information technology with Dr. McKay. So I am not an IT person at all. I usually call my husband for everything. I usually call him for everything IT related, but as a businesswoman, I need to be in sync with my IT business operations. And so, Dr. McKay, I just want to say thank you, because you did truly take me to the next level. I was telling my husband stuff about some things that he didn't know, so I really appreciate it. So before the main takeaways I took from Dr. McKay was really that lasting thought. I have a business, but my business is unsecured in this use of technology. You can have a thriving business, but for me, I'm a new business, but still at the start of my business, I need to be sound and secure in my business as it relates to information technology. And after I was schooled by Dr. McKay, and I felt like I was schooled because she broke it down. I mean, like, she really broke it down to a T, like you in a classroom. We only had 2 sessions with Dr. McKay. And I think it was a total of, I can't remember how many hours, I think it was 4 hours or more. But seriously, and I have no shame in my game in saying I pursued a master's in small business with a concentration in entrepreneurship. We didn't have a course that broke it down to the fundamentals of information technology as it relates to starting a small business. But Dr. McKay, again, she schooled me and she broke it down. So I became knowledgeable about multiple technology systems, softwares to include in my business operations. So I'm very thankful for that, because I can sleep a little bit better knowing that my e-commerce platform is secure, my phone, everything is secure and efficient as I'm running my business. So I was able to obtain with this good money from all you sponsors and investors, BBVA, whomever had a hand in making this possible through the money that we received from BWEC. I was able to obtain my WebRoot Internet Security Plus system to make sure that everything is secure on my device. And currently I do have a laptop by Dr. McKay. I'm thinking about a desktop, and my husband and I, we discussed that. So I do understand the need to have a desktop when I'm operating my business operations. So I have the WebRoot, the antivirus systems, and I'm going to invest in a manual hard drive to back up all my data. So I am a small business just starting out. I can do that, and I have established procedures in place to make that happen for myself through the manual process of backing up my data. But Dr. McKay did discuss, when we get to another level, there is a next level beyond this. We may need her services, and then also third-party providers who do the actual backing up at locations for us. But right now, I'm going to make sure I have my procedures in place for backing up my data. So thank you so much, Dr. McKay. You definitely instilled a lot of information in this little brain in regards to information technology. And I am going to get my secure business line. I'm just trying to figure out who's better, Vonage or Ring Central. So I know that one of our Nlbt ladies, she uses Vonage, and I'm just waiting to see which one is better, because as an e-commerce business, I do want to incorporate video conferencing, and just trying to see which company is better with the video conferencing and how that plays into my business. So I'm definitely going to get the secure business line as well. It's in the works. You can't hear me? Can you hear me now?
Kelly, we're losing your sound. Check your sound, please.
Can you hear me now?
Barely.
What if I talk a little bit louder?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. If I'm screaming, I'm sorry. Let me know if I'm talking a little bit too loud. Okay. Can you all hear me now?
We can hear you, but it's like your voice went muted. Before you had a louder sound, and then it gradually declined.
My apologies for all the viewers. Sorry about
now we
that.
can hear you perfectly. Now we can hear you.
I'm still gonna talk a little louder so you all can hear me just in case, okay? All righty. And then last but not least, originally I was operating my business through Squarespace. And so again, I'm a new business, really taking it off the ground. And I initially utilized Squarespace to start my business. But after the sessions with Dr. McKay, she just recommended a different provider. And I now have switched to that platform. Again, if you visit the site, it's going to say under construction. But I have made that switch to transform my business from operating from a less secure site to a better secure site in dealings with my transactions with my customers by way of e-commerce. Excuse me. And last but not least, you didn't see it there on the last side, but customer relations management, I did not know what that was. We had an assessment prior to Dr. McKay's session, and she said, you know, do we have CRM? I'm like, what is CRM? And I didn't have that, but now I do. So before, I was just thinking, you know, my customer service skills were fine. So whenever I had a transaction, I usually just, you know, email, thank you for your order, and your tracking order is this. Can you provide your feedback? Can you guys still hear me okay? Oh my goodness, can you still hear me now?
Now you're much better.
I'm gonna get to this up here. Sorry if you see my blemishes on my nose, but I just want to make sure you all get this information. But before, I thought my customer service skills were really good as far as my customers. I had a process once they contacted me via my e-commerce site and made their order. I made sure that I always had a response, engaging with them via my email. But Dr. McKay and VR Small just really stressed that you need a CRM. You can be much more effective if you have a CRM. And that's what I did. So I'm going to use MailChimp in that process. If you can still hear me, give me a thumbs up if my voice is okay. Okay. So after Dr. McKay's section, I became more knowledgeable about CRM, the systems engagement capabilities, and then how effective CRM could be as a marketing tool for my business in developing strategic campaigns and reaching my different audiences that I would like to reach by way of different products that I'm offering. So thank you, Dr. McKay. Thank you, VR, for stressing the importance of that. All righty, so fiscal continuity. Sorry if you can't see that I, but there's that F there. There's an F. It says fiscal continuity, technical assistance. And so before, I'm not a numbers person. I almost think I may have dyslexia when it comes to numbers. The numbers move around in my brain, and I really had a love-hate relationship with numbers. I look at them like some kids look at vegetables, just yuck. So I was completely lost in the sauce, and I was afraid of acquiring business credit. So I just didn't know how that would impact my business, how it would impact my personal life. But Mr. Craig Beck, he came along and he showed me how to connect the dots as it relates to the fiscal continuity of my business. If I do have business credit, where that should go in my financials. So I really want to thank him. I would give myself a B plus. I'm getting there, but I'm definitely learning a lot, and he laid a foundation for me to build upon and seek additional fiscal technical assistance as I'm growing my business. So again, I'm just starting out, but the tools that he provided really helped me get a foundation how to move forward in tracking my fiscal continuity, especially as it relates to my e-commerce business. So my results, I think they were transformational for me. I hope VR, when we have our discussions, you view them as transformational when you look at my documents. So again, I have the ability to connect the dots where it counts most. And again, I have pivoted my business from a in-service face-to-face to an e-commerce business. And so for the main takeaway that I had from Craig Beck was, if I'm going to have inventory, how to shift all that when I make a sale. And so I'm really concentrating on those details. And thank you for just emphasizing that, because I think it'll make a big difference as I'm continuing my business and making sure that I'm tracking my profit accordingly and all the expenses that are related to my cost of goods. So Craig, thank you so much. So I applied for my first line of credit through BBVA. I don't know if I got it yet, but I hope I do get it. But thank you for that again, VR, because I was really like, no to credit, because I'm trying to be debt free by 2022. That is a life plan I have with my husband and I. But really, VR, I just want to say the way you distinguish the two between business credit and personal credit really educated me, because I just thought they kind of like intermingle, and it was just going to set me back. But I just want to say, Craig, he really explained how to track everything and timing, and VR just stressing this, distinguishing the two, how it relates to your business. So thank you so much. And then also the cash in and cash out. That's very important. With all my business activities for e-commerce, it's very, very important as I pay attention to this for my e-commerce. And then understand again how I mentioned earlier my inventory, my cost of goods. And then also taking a salary. I didn't quite understand, I have a business, but how exactly do I pay myself? So that was a really challenge for me to understand, what sites do I look at? I'm an e-commerce business, but understanding different sites, looking at different averages for someone in my industry, and taking a salary is very important.
That's okay, Kelly, because I want them to hear you, but your mic went out again when you were talking about taking a salary.
Okay.
I heard a little bit of it.
Can you hear me now, VR?
Barely.
Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm gonna talk a little bit louder. Is it okay now?
Just talk as loud as you can. We can
Okay, I'm talking loudly. And then the last thing is efficiency and profitability ratio. So Craig, thank you for taking the time and explaining that. I do have some homework to do in that, but at least I have the fundamental knowledge and understanding that as well. So I'm going to continue to talk loudly as possible. So my results, due to my the pivot of my business, I will have to relaunch my business, and the expected launch is November 3rd. But now I have that fundamental knowledge of cash flow statements, profit and loss, and balance sheets. And so I have those in tow all the way projected through August of 2021. And I'll make the necessary changes as I move forward. So thank you, Craig, for sharing the information with me that I can apply to my business. And through the funds, the grant funds that we have received, I was able to acquire a virtual CFO, because again, I don't know everything, but for the first quarter of my business operations, I want to make sure I have a professional on hand that can track all of my financials for the remaining of this year, and make sure that they are accurate, and they are completed in thoroughness. So with that virtual CFO, I'm going to learn as much as I can, Craig, from her. I'm not just going to let her say, here's your statement, Kelly. No, I'm going to learn as much as I can from her, because moving through 2021, I want to start the new year fresh and have some sense of understanding these reports, and possibly maybe I could do it for myself, but definitely the next 3 months, I'm going to pick her brain for her knowledge as it relates to all of my financial statements. So before sales, I had this good idea, and I thought I knew how I was going to sell my product. I thought it was good, breastfeeding. Everyone needs some breastfeeding products. I thought I would just wing it, really, because there's a need. But I really thought I was just going to wing it, and I didn't think I was going to make a lot of money, but I just knew I wanted to do it, but I didn't have a real plan. I only had an idea how I would make a sale. But after Miss Debbie, she gave me my aha moment. It was like, oh, okay. So Miss Debbie, thank you so much. Now I feel like I have a true plan. And she gave me a 1, 2, 3 sales forecasting roadmap. And now I have a vision, a clear vision of my plan to put into action to actually achieve success in my operation. So thank you so much, Debbie. And it was just a really epiphany for me for receiving the information that Miss Debbie presented. She really broke it down into different categories, how you should be aggressive in going after your suspects until they are a hard customer. So right now I have suspects outlined all the way through 2021. Let me know if you can still hear me. Okay. My throat is getting parched because I'm like straining, but I do have my suspects, Debbie. You would be proud. So I've identified them accordingly per my local market area. I've identified the top 10 women-owned businesses in the DFW area. I've identified the human services organizations that have the highest number of employees and the highest number of servicing their target populations of disadvantaged mothers. And I just want to say thank you, David, because there's a lot of money. Like, I'm surprised. I told my husband, I'm very surprised at all this money I can be making, but I'm really going to be aggressive in that. So thank you so much, because now I really, really feel that I can actually curate the kind of profit that I want, knowing who my target suspects are and making them a customer by way of using my my plan of action that you've provided with us. So my end of year sales goals for 2020, drum roll. It's not a lot, but it's $5,695, and I think that's realistic. So it's not a lot, but my 2021 August sales goal is $52,105. Again, I'm the lady baby entrepreneur, but I think it's something. It's a start. It's better than what I started out with. And when I see this figure, it's transformational, because right now I'm nowhere near that. I'm not even 1% near that. So thank you, Debbie, because I have that figure because of the sales forecasting training that you provided us with. So I won't take too much time. I'm trying to speed through this so I can make sure all the ladies get their information in. So how I'm going to do this, because I really want to take time to harp on the sales, because the information, I wish everyone could receive all the information that Debbie provided, because it's really, it was really monumental. Okay, so I have defined my customer segment. I'm going to identify their spending trends. I'm going to focus on my B2B. And if I'm privy to the information, if it's public information, I want to understand their budgets, their spending budgets throughout the year, so I can reach out to them, engage with them to get some of that money allocated in their budget for their women's that they are using to service women. And also B2B for businesses or organizations that have staff that are predominantly women or mothers. I need to know that. I need to be confident about that, because why would I offer my product if they don't serve predominantly women or mothers? So I'm really interested in the research. I'm going to do my homework, Debbie, and I'm going to go after it. And then the social enterprise aspect. So I want to know about the sponsors and partners who are interested in decreasing breastfeeding disparities that exist by race, because it does. According to the CDC, breastfeeding exists by race. And I want to know who has a special interest in that. And once I know who that is, I can engage them, and hopefully they can sponsor kits for my customers in my local area. So Miss Venus, in regards to this business model canvas, she really laid down the law. I thought I knew how to do a business model canvas. Can you hear me okay, VR? My goodness. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now, VR?
You're really, really low. It's something where you're moving, your mic just kind of gets louder, but we want to hear you. So try to stay close and just speak a little bit louder, but it's something with your mic and you're moving.
Okay.
Now we can hear you. Stay there, don't move. Go.
We fine now? Okay.
Yes.
All right, so with the business canvas, and I apologize. VR, if you can, stay on. If she can, stay on. VR, can you stay unmuted?
Oh, stay on. Is that what's impacting
Can you hear me better when you're
Yes.
on? I think,
Yes.
I don't know what that is, but it seems like you can hear me better when you're on. Am I
Okay,
too
go
loud
ahead.
now? Okay. So Miss Venus, she came in and laid down the law with the business canvas model. I thought I knew what I was doing, but I was actually thinking backwards. So that's what that is there. I was thinking backwards. So I was so in tune to thinking about like the social impact. I want to give discounts if you're a first time customer. But Venus was like, well, you haven't made any money yet, baby. You can't do that. So after she got me thinking straight. Really, I had to ask myself one question that Miss Venus stated throughout our training. And she said, well, are they paying? And if they're not paying, Kelly, they don't get any discounts initially. You want to give discounts to your loyal customers. And so I definitely took that, and I'm like, oh, okay. Even if they have a good cost, even if, you know, they are of human service, you must ask yourself, are they paying? Do they have a budget for your services or your products? And then once they become loyal customers, you can always engage them through your CRM, through your marketing campaigns. They could be the first to know about what you have to offer. So thank you, Venus, for hitting me upside the head. I really appreciate that. All right, growing with Google. Can you all hear me still okay?
Yes.
Oh, thank God. And I do apologize about that earlier, folks. So growing with Google technical assistance, before I was totally unaware of business, the Google business profile existed. When she mentioned that, I was just like, what? Okay, all right. I never even heard of a Google business profile. I just knew about Gmail. But after, I was thinking, that's a good idea. Do I even need a website? I mean, I could do everything on this Google the Google business profile, but of course I do need a website to engage with those transactions. So it's a one-stop shop for all of the marketing, the analytics, and I'm just excited to really dive into that, to really incorporate that into my marketing as I'm relaunching for November 3rd. Before that actual date of November 3rd, I'm going to engage my my audience by way of my Google business profile, integrate with my CRM. So I'm really excited to merge those two. And then after, utilize the analytics to see what was more effective and make changes as I need as I go on. So thank you so much for, I guess, open my world to Google business profile, because I never even heard the term. I've always seen like those icons on Google, you know, when you search a business, but I really didn't know how that was generated. But thank you so much. So my transformation results, I'm really excited. I'm going to just increase my awareness. I finally activated my milkspace.co G Suite account. I'm going to update my business profile. I haven't done all this yet, but I am. I'm going to update my business profile location. That is going to be hidden because I'm at home base. She told me how to do that. I'm going to make sure I update my phone attributes, the description, my photos. I want to have unboxing videos for all of my products. I'm just really excited to utilize this Google business profile to its full capacity. And then again, I'm going to engage my audience through the different announcements that can be posted on your Google business profile. So thank you again for all that information. So using Google business profile, I know that it's going to be a lot of work. Again, I'm not tech savvy, but I want to make sure it's very intentional. That way I can measure all the analytics and make sure that I'm not devoting so much time to things that are not going to prove fruitful for my business. And so that's my goal with the Google business profile, to dive into it and then analyze everything and keep it moving and make sure I reach all of my sales goals. So that is it. I'm sorry if you guys didn't hear the whole presentation, if I talked too long, but I was just excited. I want to get all this information out. My girls will call me, but I just want to say thank you so much, VR, all the presenters, everybody, the Nlbt ladies, everybody has been instrumental, and I'm just looking forward to so much success. And I couldn't have done it without you, VR. I really appreciate you and everyone who had a part in this. So thank you.
So we apologize for Kelly. She's having some mic issues there. We didn't get to hear, I could barely hear, but I'm sure Facebook wasn't able to hear all of the last good stuff that you said. But we hope you could stay on to be a part of that last piece. And what I want to do is get Debbie on, because Debbie's in another conference, and I want to make sure she gets a chance to say howdy to y'all before she leaves. So Debbie, where are you?
Here I am. How are you?
I am good.
Please excuse my casual attire. The conference was supposed to be in Dallas this week and they couldn't be here, so we're doing it virtually. So we're wearing Texas outfits today. My shirt says, "Don't mess with Texas women." And then this is my coffee mug. I figured we were all over 21, we could share. So ladies, I'm so proud of you all. Kelly, I did hear what you were talking about on your sales forecasting. Thumbs up. And I have talked to each and every one of you now. I know you're doing a great job. Sharon, I loved your message last night. Yesterday had been a long day, so thank you for that love note. Yes.
Thank you for your help.
My pleasure, my pleasure. So ladies, you know, there's nothing sexy about sales forecasts, but I believe it is the key to your success. And if you aren't looking at your numbers, then who is? You know, and looking at them every day, because if you don't have numbers, then you probably don't have a business. So I really, really appreciate each of you taking this on and really doing the assignment and beginning it, and you'll get better and better with it as you go along. But like I told you when we spoke the first time, you know, the difference between that top 1% or 10% and the rest are things like that sales forecast, where you're really paying attention to your business, but you're paying attention all the time, whether it's good times or bad times. You're being persistent in what you're doing. I just finished a call. I don't know if any of y'all would remember Bonnie Blair, who is the most decorated woman Winter Olympian, who won the most medals for any woman in Winter Olympics just now. And one of the things she told us is, you know, to succeed, you have to skate through the finish line. You don't hold up like, oh, I'm almost there, so I'm not going to do this. Oh, I've almost got this, so I'm just going to take a break. No, I love this. This was so powerful for me. You just skate through that finish line and you just keep going. It's the rest of them's problem whether they keep up or not. And she also said, one of the things I said to you all the other day, don't worry about your competitors. Don't worry about your competitors. Be the best you can be. And yes, sometimes you will come in second, but hell, you're on the podium, you know? So I was like, okay, you know, kind of thing. So that I just really want to encourage you. Each of you have something of value, people who need you. Everybody's not always going to need you, and that's okay, because you're not for everybody. But you need to figure out who it is that you are for, the value you bring, and find your people, because they are out there. And the last thing I want to say to you is, you know, in finding your people, please remember, even in the darkest times, the times you feel the worst, you do not have to do it alone. Think about the rule of 250. Who all do you know? Reach out. You have no idea who knows who. You just don't. Like the way we got Bonnie Blair to be our speaker this morning at no charge was her grandson, or excuse me, her son is on the hockey team for a friend of ours' son's team. You know, so it's the mothers. The mother asked the other mother, you know, could you do this? We got 35 women, you know, kind of thing. She's like, sure, ask and you shall receive. You do not have to do this alone, good times or bad. So love all of you. And if you have any questions for me, please share. But otherwise, you can send me notes, send me a LinkedIn message, whatever you'd like. VR, thank you for this fabulous program.
Gabby, stay on so you can hear, you get your next level of accolades, and then if you gotta jump, you can jump. But see, Debbie, ain't none of them tell you about when they applied and they had to submit their budget. And they had all that stuff on their budget that they had projected. And I was like, okay, so how you getting here? And they're like, I'm getting here. And I'm like, no, you have to give me a rationale. I think you need to wait for Debbie. So we're gonna clear all of this off until we get to sales forecasting. And then you tell me if that's really what you want to do. So I was surprised nobody shared their budgeting strategies in advance, but I think I get why. But you have transformed them. They are thinking in a whole nother way. And remember, we talked about this, Debbie, when I booked you, that people think marketing is sales.
Yes.
Marketing is not sales. And so you can market all day on Facebook and you haven't sold anything because you could be marketing to the wrong people, number one. So they have to have their whole forecast. And then in sales, we also look at the client experience, which they have been talking about. What's that experience for that client when you close a deal? Do you say thank you? Do you follow up? Do you offer them anything special? Are you asking them to do anything with you? Become an ambassador, share your information. So that whole customer experience, they need to think through when they think through that sales, because right there in that one cell are a couple of other cells. So I thank you. And then I remind all my students of them original budgets, which of course I have. I have all the original budgets. So we're going to move on to Masako. Masako is supposed to be next, but I wanted to make sure Kelly got in. Everybody check your mics. Make sure your mics are off so you don't jump in on them. And Masako, when you're ready to go, you let me know.
Okay. Well, first of all, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for taking the time to be with me today, and so you could listen to what I have learned through this next business level transformation program, Thriving Through COVID. It's interesting because when it came about, you know, you need help, but you don't know how you're going to get help. But I always had hope. And VR was talking about the budgeting. It was like entering into this program and all of that, the dynamic instructors that we had to take us along our journey. It was like I needed to reteach myself the things that I thought I had already knew, but who knows, who knew that, you know, COVID was going to cause me to forget absolutely everything I had ever known. So it wasn't like I was starting from zero, but I was starting from the second set of 10. So we can go 1 through 10, we could have stages in life so we could have success, right? So my name is Masako May. I am the owner and expert trainer at Masako May Training, where our moniker is healing through exercise. And our mission is to get rid of the stress and the burnout epidemic in the mommy and the mommy to be. So what I'm going to show you today with the slides is my before and after during the next business level transformation, the strategies that I have learned through the process from my dynamic instructors and what I have been able to implement into my business so I can have a fresh start as COVID. I'm claiming we're coming out of COVID, like it's automatically going to disappear on November 3rd. So let's just hope, right? Let's just hope. My first class was technology. And as you can see, when it comes to technology, maybe not everyone believes this, but it almost gives you a headache in a sense, because for me, I thought that I had everything in place when it came to technology. You know, I had my credit card processing that I was using with 2-factor authentication. I was working from a computer with all of the standard operating procedures. And, you know, who knew that standard just isn't good enough, right? We have to raise a new standard. I had a cloud-based phone system, the website, you know, OneDrive, Office 365. But I found out that that wasn't enough, because I don't know if any of you guys have experienced the blue screen of death like I have, because although I had all of those standard basic operating procedures, when that blue screen of death happened to me, I lost all my contract blueprints. I lost all of my data, all of my footage that I had from my filmings. So although I had this experience, all of the things that I had put together was gone. And so after the technology class, I had to gain my footing, and I created a standard operating procedure. So with the standard operating procedures, now I have a foundation to build from, because technology, that is our foundation, right? And what I did is I put together a system of data storage, recovery, backup, and I use cloud services. So no matter where I am, no matter what machine I'm working from, I'll be able to access everything that I have already used. I'll be able to access everything that I've already built and put into place. So with technology, I felt like I was going into it like I knew something, But after sitting through Dr. McKay's class, there's always an opportunity to learn more. So I implemented, the web filters, antivirus, internet security. And now what I do whenever I'm away from home, I have a VPN service that I'll connect with through my phone and or through my internet. And who knew that CRM, the most basic thing, client relationship management, like as an owner of a business that deals with the public, that should have been one of the first things that I had, but I had nothing in place. Although I had used MailChimp before, it was not active. And so what the standard operating procedures have shown me is it's a blueprint to how I'm running my business. And so whenever I get out of my business and I hire other people to work in my business, they'll be able to work through my standard operating procedures and work with the clients the way that I work with the clients. So overall, the technology class also showed me the importance of the data security and e-commerce. So now I have a more secure way of dealing with my clients and keeping their information safe. The class after that was my fiscal continuity class. Now this for me, it was an eye opener, because I was running my business like I was working my business. So that means I wasn't running my business. I was working in my business. And that was a great eye opener, because why do we own businesses if we're going to work in our business? For me, it was a light bulb went off, like, if I'm going to work in my business and not on my business, why don't I just go work for someone else? And that's not something that I want to do. So it was a great eye opener for me. And then I was manually tracking my receipts, putting those receipts in the legal size envelope to carry to the tax specialist at the end of the year. I'm like, that is definitely an employee. So I'm being an employee and not an owner. So after Craig Beck's class, I became a bit more savvy when it comes to my fiscal continuity. And what it showed me was having processes and procedures in a standard operating way. And so what I did is he showed me that through what I had already done to count the equity that I have in my company, all of the money that I have put in my company, the software that I've purchased, the cameras that I've purchased, really looking at the equity, both sweat equity as well as fiscal equity, what I have put into my business, that matters. And I was also able to learn about the depreciation value of some of the equipment that I have. Like, all of this was new to me. And so I wonder how many business owners are out there that are working in their business and not on their business. Since then, like, I have a personal relationship with my banker, when before I really didn't, you drop deposits, that's it. You don't really talk to anyone. We're in that social media age where we're going to DM, right? We're going to DM or we're going to text. We're not going to really have a face-to-face conversation. So since then, I have a personal relationship with my banker. I've been to the bank multiple times. I'm having conversations. I'm asking to be included in events that's happening at the bank, so people know who I am and what I do and what I'm passionate about. And I'm passionate about serving others. And so it has really shown me that the most important thing in any business is our key partnerships, because we have to have a strategy. We have to have things in place where when we walk away, it's in print. People can see what we've done. And so that was my biggest thing. It's like, what am I doing with my unpaid accounts? How many times have I don't know if any of you guys has had this happen, that someone didn't pay. And so that was just an unpaid invoice. So after the fiscal continuity class, I now know that I could file that on my taxes as a loss. And so now what I've decided and what I've began to implement already, since I have QuickBooks. So now things are being implemented. I have an accountant. I have a tax specialist. We're inputting the receipts in more frequently. So we're not waiting till the end of the year, but we're doing it present day. So it's definitely made me more efficient. Pre-forecasting. OMG. Debbie, I love Debbie. So one of her questions that she asked in our pre-forecasting, in our workbook she gave us is, do you have a sales and a marketing strategy in place? And I was like, well, I have a whole lot of ideas, but ideas ain't nothing if you're not measuring it. So I use the idea of, just standing in front of a bag, hitting a bag, because I had the energy and the drive pre-forecasting. I had a whole lot of ideas in my head, but I didn't have anything written down to measure what I was doing and how I was doing it and seeing the results from that. So the forecasting class actually gave me some hope. After the forecasting class, it was like I had the tools in my hand, like I had the blueprint for success. Now I had a plan that I'm working from. It was like the forecasting class, it gave me a plan. And with the plan, I have a strategy. So I was able to actually put down the thoughts that are in my head and see who are my suspects. Who are my prospects, how to move them to the leads, to, from the conversations and timelines and putting the proposals together. So the forecasting class was gold for me because it put everything that was in my head, I was able to see it. Have you ever heard that thing, write what you say so you could see what you're saying? So I was able to write and see, and now I have a strategy and I'm working from a plan, when before it was just like individual things. And now it's like, it's collective. So I'm working with a strategy and I have my map to success. So that's what the forecasting class did for me. Pre-Google business, it was like my business had flatlined. Not only were we going through COVID, but I myself was affected by COVID. I had COVID. I had a concussion. I was pregnant. Everything flatlined. I didn't know what I was doing or how I was doing it. I was doing some writing and I had some hope. And I was very grateful when the next level business transformation came along, because my prayer for hope was answered at that point in time. So when the Google business class came along, I recognized that I already had some tools in my toolbox, because I had a website, I had a Google business account, but what I did not realize is that my Google business account and my website had gone stagnant. I was not functioning in the processes. So when people are visiting my website, I didn't have any way of tracking who they were. I wasn't collecting any of their data. I didn't know what it is that they were looking to do. So with the Google Business Analytics course that we went through, it taught me how to measure my website. So I signed up for the Google Analytics. It taught me how to measure my website. It's showing me who's coming to my website in real time, what they have been looking for when they're coming to my website, what sites they have visited before they got to my website. So the Google Analytics really is giving me an insight to who my clients are and really what they're going through without me even asking a question to them. So with the CRM that I have implemented and the Google Analytics, now I could actually target my audience with newsletters or asking the questions that are relevant to them that they have already been looking for. So now when they hear from me, they're like, oh my God, it's like she's a gift from God. She knows exactly what I'm thinking. So I'm grateful for that, because now I can analyze their behavior and optimize my business. And I believe that, when we can measure what we're doing, our revenues are increasing. So I'm really grateful for the coursework, because now the procedures that I have put in place, I feel like I'm able to function from a more solid foundation, when before it was just piecemeal and nothing was coming together. So strategically, I feel like now I have a strong foundation to work from. And then the management class, I feel like management was putting all of the things together that we were learning. The management class really taught me to look at my customer segment and with a deeper insight with how I'm going to reach them, how I'm going to keep them, you know, it's easier to keep your client and then get more clients from them than to lose a client. And so I'm really looking forward to growing my audience, growing my client base, and implementing the processes and procedures that I have gained through this Next Level Business Transformation Program. I'm so grateful for everyone that has participated in this, the funders that blessed us with the finances, VR, for putting this program together and being so diligent and not accepting our first drafts. Like, no, what do you mean by this? Like, really causing us to go deep and really get clear on who we are and how we're moving this world forward. And so that's the good news about that. So I'm Masako May. Please visit my website at masakomaytraining.com. Send me an email. Let's work together. And remember, turn that emotion into motion. Thank you guys so much for sharing your time with me today. I truly appreciate you all.
Thank you, Masako. That was awesome. Awesome job. Woo. Hey, I wanna share what Debbie put in the chat, because I think this is valuable to everybody. So she had to jump off, as she said she was at another conference, but she reminded us that you don't have to be great to get started, but you do have to get started to be great. So you ladies have definitely gotten started, and I know you're going to be great. So I'm not even worried about that. So our next person up is Ms.
Masako.
Angela.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And so, Ms. Angela, let me know when you're set up, and I will get you, I'll turn the screen over to you. All right. I don't think that's your first sheet. You might want to go back. Technology.
Gotta love it. Okay.
Okay, well, now we've seen the whole presentation. No. Take it away.
Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. I'm Angela Van, and I'm the owner and director for Keisha's Care Learning Academy. And at Keisha's Care Learning Academy, we provide the highest quality of care for early childhood, child care and educational service for early childhood ages infant to 5 years of age. I'm also a Texas Rising Star 4-star level home, which I'm accredited through the state of Texas. And we provide all types of activities geared toward social emotional, some STEM, math, reading, just to name a few. So you can check our website out at www.keishacarelearningacademy.com for a virtual tour and to hear and see some of our testimonials from some past and present clients that I have. Okay, the next level business transformation. I have to say, this has been an experience for me, and I am glad that I have been a part of this. The Veterans Women Enterprise Center, VR Smalls, I'm glad you had that vision. I'm glad you stuck with it, seen it to completion and into operation, because then we are here. Because of that, we are here. And I want to say thank you for that. And the motto that VR has, connecting you, is what we do. It's not just a motto. It happens. It really happens. The connection. So the connection with this, with the next level business transformation, we got connected through technology, which Dr. Alicia McKay came in and gave us some great knowledge, information. And before I move on, I would like to say congratulations to Dr. McKay for being nominated to the Women in Technology Luminary Award. We got financials from Craig Beck. We got the sales from the great Debbie, marketing from Maria and from Google, and our business model canvas, that was other connections, and we had some credit connections also. So technology before, that's basically it. What you see, that was basically it. I had a laptop, the pads there, you got your phone, and it was I just had a system there, something, a piece of equipment to get things done, to send out my invoices, to get on the internet, to research, to look. That was basically it. The antivirus that came with the laptop had expired, of course. So it was just there. I just had a piece of equipment that was there, and after all the information that Dr. McKay gave us, I found out that I was very vulnerable out there. So after our technology sessions, so we come up with the antivirus, needing of the antivirus, needing of a web filter, needing of a firewalls, and knowing that that is not all the same, because in my mind, I'm thinking, well, you got an antivirus, the web filter, it's all the same. It does all the same, but there's different levels with all of that for you to have, and you to be protected, not only yourself, you're protecting your information, your business information, but you're also protecting your client information, your customer information. The backups, external drives, cloud. You know how you get that message? Your system has not been backed up in the last week, or it has not been backed up in the last month. And this is, and I put that there, the external drive, because that is one of the most important part of it. And as Masako was saying, she got that blue screen and this, would have prevented all that. And so this is something that I have put in place with my backup, with my information, have the external drive. I'm just working with the external drives right now, and not the cloud storage, but we'll get to that as this franchise grow. And the business process. She also gave us about business process, we know, and sometimes as business owner, we're doing things, we know how to do it. We can do it. It's like, oh yeah, I know how to do it. And you're telling blah, blah, this and that, but write it down, put it in paper so that we can see it, somebody else that can come in when you aren't able to do it, and they know how to do that process, just like you want it done, because you have your business process there for listed, and that they can follow it. So thank you again, Dr. Alicia, for all the information that you gave us. It was well received. Thank you, thank you, thank you. The financials. Yeah, the financials. Basically was just a spreadsheet. I was just tracking invoices. That's all I did. Tracking invoices and my expenses, the majority of expenses. Not even all of it, everything that was going out. Wasn't even tracking everything that was going out, and missing some of the things that was coming in. Equity, that wasn't a clear thing to me about the equity that I was bringing to my business. And I was bringing, there's a lot, just didn't understand what the equity was. I had no checks and balance, because all I was doing was just recording on a spreadsheet. So that wasn't a balance system to actually, for me to check, to make sure that whatever was doing on the right, the left was doing the same thing, that we were both in sync. So didn't have a banker. All I had was a checking account, business checking account. That was my banker. That was the most of it. And the procrastination, truth moment, procrastination on financial issues. Sometimes it'd be those times when you have to, especially when money going out, when you're just sitting it out. Those are, you're like, wow, do I have to, do I need to? So I tend to kind of like put it on the back burner and doing it at the last minute, or just a little bit past that time. So, didn't mean to do that. So after financials, and thank you again, Craig, for coming in and giving us the information as far as dealing with our finances. I've acquired a software management package. I have QuickBooks, and I am learning that. That's a work in progress, but at least I have it, and I'm learning that profit and loss. I'm learning that balance sheet, and I'm learning that cash flow, which is my checks and balances, because then if you put it on one, it has to go on the other. And so then you can kind of see where it all comes in and it all makes sense to you. The equity, whoa, the equity. And that's what I'm bringing to my business. And I bring a lot to that. So, and a lot I was missing. So I have a better understanding of how to report that and how to put it within my financials. So I'm grateful for Craig for that, for explaining that. And I still got more to learn in this realm, and I'm looking forward to it. So thank you again with the financials. Thanks, Craig. Let's go to sales. Like I say, sales. It was just my invoices only, and I only had one source of sales. That was it. Sales after, Miss Debbie. Miss Debbie is awesome. You know, my sales forecast. I actually have a sales forecast now. Not just my not just my customers that I have now. I have a sales forecast, and I have that goes out to the end of next year. That's what we're working on. But I understand more about the current customers, which I have my suspects, the prospects, the hard leads, and I'll have my suspects, which is gonna fall down, and they're gonna become my customers. So I understand that, and about going after those suspects, and as far as how I need to acquire them to make them a customer. And that is thinking outside the box. And that was one of the things that Debbie had said about thinking outside the box. And especially now during the COVID pandemic. And that has forced a lot of us to do that, to think outside of the box. If we want to stay in business and keep it going, and which I did. And that's how I came up with these suspects here. So my sales forecast for the end of 2020, I'm right on target with what I'm supposed to make. I had wanted 30,000 that by the end of the year to make another 30,000 of sales, which I'm on target. I'm like $200 over. There's 32,000, and which I'm glad of that. And then as you can see for my next year sales forecast, you can see where I'm at now, which is a huge difference, up to 287, almost 300,000. And what I will say with another thing that Debbie said is, like, with these sell forecasts, when you write it down, put it on paper, put that number there, put it there and look at it and see it, and you track it. You track this stuff. You look at this stuff daily, weekly, monthly, however you have to look at it. And if you see you're falling somewhere, if you're not gonna make that mark there, then you can start figuring out, okay, where do I need to go? What do I need to do to make that up, to get to that, to get to that goal that you had set in reference to your sales. Moving to marketing before, it was basically nothing. I mean, I had social media, it was the personal, and it was just only one. Didn't have a clear understanding how the media platform is gonna serve as a marketing tool for me. And then analytics, okay, what's that? Marketing after. And Maria, she came in and she gave us some awesome information. And the way she went through it is you were just grasping it and catching it on. And it's like, oh, okay, I see how this works now. Hashtag grow with Google. That Google business platform offer you everything. I mean, everything is there for you to market your business. With the analytics, who's looking at your website? I do have a website now, Who's looking at it? And, you know, how often are they looking at it? Who's trying to reach out to you? Who do I need to reach out to? Who do I need to get in touch with, start making contact with? But it's still a work in progress. It's still a work in progress as far as figuring it all out and how it's going to work for me. And with Pinterest, YouTube, Instagram. And when she brought up Pinterest, I would have never thought about Pinterest. And with the field that I'm in, early childhood, I use Pinterest all the time. I use it a lot. So I know that I could, with the marketing piece, that I can pick up some suspects there. And that's our marketing. The other connections that we gained through this, that I gained through this program, the business canvas. This business canvas model has really helped me along as far as almost better than my business plan. So that's why I have it up here, the business canvas model versus the business plan. Where I'm at now, this has helped me a lot opposed to a business plan, because every time you say you have your business plan, and that was like taboo. I'll get so far along on that business plan and be like, well, I don't understand this, it's too much. And then you'll have about, 85 to 95 pages and you don't know what it's about. And there it is, this one page that puts it all in there, that tells you everything that you need about your business and where you need to go, how you need to go, how you're gonna do it. And it's just all right there in front of you. And you can always come back and revamp it as time goes by and as things change. Thanks again, Venus, for this. And we did get some business credit that went over talking about business credit, our business credit versus our personal credit, applying for business credit, getting that business credit profile built up in order to reach out and get those business line of credit, business credit cards, and those business loans. So again, thanks to Venus. And I apologize, I forget the young lady name that gave us the credit course.
Ms. Sheets.
Ms. Sheets, thank you, VR. So the next steps for Keisha Care Learning Academy. So I'm going to share this with you. Before this, the next business level transformation, I was ready to call it quits. December 2020, that was going to be it. I was hanging it up. I was grooming my assistant. If you want to continue it on, that's fine. I was getting ready to go to Fayetteville, North Carolina. My daughter just had her second child in May, and I was going to go and be grandma. And just be grandma and live the life. Because I was just like, before COVID, it was okay. Then COVID hit, those 4 or 5 months, things just plummeted. And over half of my enrollment. And then trying to build back up, it was just, at times discouraging, and you didn't want to deal with it. But I got a call. And he's like, Angela, girl, where you been? Where you at? I got that grant out there. You better get on there. You better apply for it. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? You finna go? No, you're gonna get on there and apply for it. And I was like, VR. So again, a big thank you to VR for doing that, and giving me that that motivation and that the insight that okay, I can keep it moving. And so the next steps for Keisha Care Academy is acquiring my buildings for expansion and acquiring a strong management team. And I'm building up more community connections and partnerships. And I'm doing that as of now and this was a tip from Debbie. And thank you again, Debbie. She just sent me some more information. So I really appreciate that. I really appreciate all of the trainers that you bought in VR. They've given us a lot to move our business on to that next level. Really appreciate it. And I want to give a huge thank you shout out to the other women in the cohort with me. I mean, yes, we have been holding each other up, holding each other accountable. So I really appreciate that. I really appreciate it. And I want to say thank you. And again, thank you, VR, for giving me this opportunity to be a part of a cohort like this. I haven't been a part of anything like this. So thank you again. That's it.
Thank you, Angela. That was awesome. And we're going to see Keisha Cares franchised, and there's going to be Keisha Cares all over the place. So we're looking for you to do big things. Let me know when you stop sharing. Venus jumped on. You guys have been hearing about Venus. Venus is awesome, and I'll let her tell you a little bit about herself. But I also want to give her opportunity to say something about her experience with us, and give the ladies some words of encouragement as they continue their journey. So Venus, I'm gonna turn it over to you.
You guys have to excuse me. I'm actually in another Zoom meeting, so I had to join from my phone. But I definitely wanted to come on and just share my praises and congratulations and all that kind of stuff. I'm so proud of you all. VR told me tons of things before I even decided to come in, and I kind of gave you my feedback last time and my I don't know, well wishes for you all. And I think mine is really simple. Don't quit. I mean, you're going to go through the fire. There are going to be roadblocks and all these kind of things, but use that pain and those tears and all that to propel you forward. So, I mean, mine is really short. Don't quit. It's possible. I'm telling you, you can come from the gutter, from nothing, from anything else. Just use that military background. Always keep that mission clear. And then, how you're going to get there, it's not your business. Just keep on going. You know whose business that is. I won't go into detail, but keep on going, you all. And VR, thank you from the bottom of my heart for including me in this. And ladies, please keep in touch. Let me know if you need anything.
Definitely. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You were amazing.
So this has been awesome, seeing each one of your presentations, being able to share how you've transformed your business to the next level. So we're going to begin our group discussion. I'm glad Kelly was able to jump back on. I hope we can hear. I'm not sure if we can, but I want to ask you guys a couple of questions about the experience. And do you guys know how to raise your hand? Usually reactions to raise your hands. So if you look down the bottom where you see reaction, so rather than pull you and make you respond, I think it'll be nice if you could just raise your hand, and that way I'll know who wants to respond. So I think this question is so important, not just for you guys, but for the people that are listening. Let's talk a little bit about what kept you from applying, because there were so many opportunities related to COVID. And people kept saying, oh, there's opportunities out there, But I know a lot of people were applying and getting denied and going for stuff and finding out it was no longer available. But what kept you from applying? And do you feel this is similar to what other people are feeling? Masako.
What kept me from applying is being unengaged. I don't know if anyone has ever been unengaged, but I felt unengaged with everything that was happening during COVID. I had hope, but I didn't have drive. And so when I got that email, I thought that I was getting on a Zoom meeting, and I was talking about things that had happened in February. So that's just how far behind the mark I was. So just being unengaged, not being present in the current situation is what kept me from applying. But as soon as I found out about it, the fire was lit. So I'm grateful that you continue to have those Zoom meetings, and I jumped on that call because we got to be engaged. We can't hear you. You're on mute, VR.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I was saying, yes, you have to try to stay connected. And did anyone else want to share because it took us like 2 weeks in, we were 3 weeks in getting all the applicants, because a lot of you ladies weren't applying. Other people were applying, but you weren't applying. And I did actually have to call some people and say, hey, did you see this? So what was that one thing that you saw this $5,000 out there and you thought, I don't need that? Nobody?
Ego.
Kelly, can you unmute yourself?
Can you hear me okay? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay. Just for me, like once you told me about it, VR, I was just really, like I said in my presentation, just skeptical only because I had so much going on, like in my family life. And I just want to make sure that if I was going to spend my time on it, it was going to be beneficial to me and my growth. But I'm glad I did because it's 110% beneficial to me and my growth as a business. But really, like Masako said, like being engaged in that consistent engagement, I do want to thank you for even reaching out to me because a lot has happened since COVID. And I'm just so glad that I didn't leave this opportunity by the wayside. But really just the work-life balance of being a mom. And you see I'm driving now, trying to be careful. But just thank you so much, VR.
Well, thank you for getting involved. And I'll take one more comment if anybody else has a comment on that question. Okay, so the next question is, what was the value of the small group cohort? What was the value of the small group cohort to you ladies? Vaughn, is that you?
That's Masako.
So the value initially was knowing the content, understanding what the expectations were and what our potential outcomes were going to be. And I say it had to be made clear what the goals were going to be. I was skeptical of just getting in another session for someone else's benefit. I didn't want to be a statistic again. I didn't want to join and spend time and effort not knowing that there was going to be a personal growth, but also a unified growth. And I say unified because I've watched how all of us have migrated to another level, each and every one of us. And some of those things we haven't shared with you, VR, and I'm sure we will get an opportunity to. The vulnerability, we had to trust being vulnerable. We had to trust, VR, the information that we were sharing. Not only was it important for you, it was important for us, but collectively it became important that we were able to be transparent. And there was no guilt, there was no shame, there was no embarrassment, there was no condemnation. Oh, you should be oh, you didn't know that? Even for our presenters, I can't say that on my one-on-ones that any of them made me feel ashamed or even offered shame to say, oh my God, I can't believe you call yourself a business owner and you don't know that, or you're not doing this. It was, this is what's necessary. This is what I have to offer you. And they did it in such a way that the deliveries were clear, they were concise, they were fast in execution. So all of us now have to go back and put those pieces of the puzzle together. We have the framework, and I'm so grateful for the framework. Now we have something that we understand why it's necessary, the benefit of it, and what we need to plug in. And some of it's going to be baby steps because we're all in different industries, but we're also growing together. So knowing that I was not going to be another statistic and there was no real goal in mind, this was hands-on, it was applicable, and it was so needed and so necessary. So again, I am grateful for you, the visionary. You believed in us. We had to believe in ourselves. We had to be vulnerable with each other. We had to be transparent, and we had to learn to trust each other. So I am so grateful for my sisterhood, my sheroes. We were determined no one would be left behind. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
That's awesome. And I saw Sharon's hand up. Sharon, was your hand up?
Yes. This right here is something that I have looked for a while, for a very long time. After I became 10 years old, it was like, okay, so where do I go from here? But anything that you send me, you know, I'm going to respond to anyway. When you sent this, I was like, okay. And it wasn't so much about the money. It was more for me getting to learning what I learned with the different speakers that you had come in. But the best part has been meeting ladies that are in the same place that I am in. They're business owners. They needed some help, because I went to God and I was like, okay, look, I need help. Where do I go? Who can I talk to? And he sent this right here, and just being able to talk to them, and we're on the same page, helping each other out. I may have given them some information, somebody else put some information out there that we all could use, and just having that camaraderie and that sisterhood that I was looking for when it came to other women business owners. Because like Vaughn said, there have been times where, I've met somebody and I've given my information, but oh, now you don't want to share yours because you're afraid that it's gonna push me ahead of you. And I was really tired of that too. But Masako and I went to lunch the other day and we hit Macy's, and it was like, oh, we got to tell the other ladies they got to come on with us to the last act. So thank you to UVR, because I've watched you from the groundbreaking of this this enterprise center to First Fridays and not crying but wanting to cry. And I'm just very proud of you, and I can't say thank you enough for including me as you have.
You're part of our military family. Masako, did you have your hand up?
I did, but I forgot the question. Sorry.
Oh, it was, what was the value of the small group cohort?
Oh, wow. Priceless. The value, oh, it is beyond measure. The sisterhood, the teamwork, coming from a place where, you feel like you're all alone. At least I felt like I was all alone. And just the teamwork that I have gained from the ladies. Like, we all may have different businesses. However, a business platform, business acumen, business strategy, we have been able to come together and hold the mirror to one another for us to see actually who we are and what we have to offer, so we can apply that in a positive manner to be the servant leaders that we're called to be in our businesses. So I'm very grateful.
Angela, did you want to share anything, or you were good?
I'm just going to piggyback off of the other ladies. This has been an experience. The camaraderie, the sisterhood that we form, the teamwork, has been awesome. And you don't get this, you get this very far and few in between. And I'm just glad that I am a part of it, was to be able part of it now. And, moving forward, that we will keep this and do great things even after this. So thank you, VR and ladies.
So that's a good point. I want to follow up on that. You guys talked about the camaraderie you had. We're all military, a military family. Do you think we can repeat this? We want to take next level business transformation into 2021. Can we do this? Can it work, or is it just unique to you five ladies?
No, you've got to take this. I already have you 3 people lined up for the next group.
I believe
I got one too.
VR. I believe that we have all been blessed with you now. It was your vision, and you have laid the blueprint, and we are the first class, the first graduating class, and now we could come back and share what we have learned and really be like big sisters to the next group of women that are coming in. And we have a blueprint now to go and grow from. So no, this is only the beginning.
You will be franchising this, I'm sure.
Hey,
You
VR.
need to come up with your price for train the trainer, okay? So get ready.
VR. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me
Yes,
okay, VR?
yes, we can hear you.
Okay. No, I was just thinking, like, I just finished my master's program, but I really feel like every program that's dealing with entrepreneurship or business, They need this. This is like hands-on, applying practical knowledge and providing you a next level step. So for those, want to pursue entrepreneurship, I think that this should be incorporated in actual degree seeking degree type programs, because I'm telling you, I learned so much in these 5 weeks than I've learned in some of these courses. I'm so serious when I say it, but I just really appreciate working with all the ladies. I didn't get to share that, but like it's like Sharon said, like I'm not going anywhere, and I just really appreciate you all. But just getting back to your point, VR, I think that this program can be next year. I think it needs to be quarterly. I don't know how long you plan on extending like the length, but I think it needs to be offered consecutively, not just once a year, but every year, every quarter. I think this should be offered. It's phenomenal. Like, it's really taking me to the next level and helped me realize I don't have to be perfect. I don't have to be great just to start. I just need to start and then, be great. So I'm just thankful. It needs to, I'm serious, VR. It needs to be offered every quarter. There's some funders out there. If they have the money, this needs to be funded every quarter, because it's truly providing a foundational for me to build upon. I feel like I'm 110% more informed about what I need to effectively operate my business.
That's awesome. But both of you guys touched on something. So definitely we can offer the coursework. Would it have made a difference for you if the $5,000 grant wasn't there? Would you have still applied if the grant money wasn't there?
Yeah,
I would have, yes.
Yes,
Yep.
absolutely.
If we got the same thing, yes, yes.
Listen, the money was a bonus. What we got,
Absolutely. It was definitely needed.
Yeah, what I got was priceless.
But here's my question. You guys have gone through the course, and so now you know the value. But on the onset, when you were putting in your application, without that $5,000, would you still have applied to go through this intensive, technical assistance course?
Yes, I needed to.
because I came into I mean, I didn't even give you my original budget, VR, because I was like, she gonna say no to all this. I had a wardrobe, camera, production crew. So it wasn't about the money. It was about the experience.
I don't think there was one budget that I got that I approved that we didn't do like 3 or 4 times. And people were calling me saying, well, what's wrong with it? What's wrong with it? We need to get on the call. There's a lot wrong with this budget, okay? Call me. This is not an email conversation. This is something we need to have a call or a face-to-face Zoom for you to understand why this budget is not going to cut it. Let me ask you something. Are you glad you switched your budgets? Are you glad what you use your money for now opposed to what you were trying to use your money for?
Yes.
Oh,
yes. Thank you. I mean, because of the classes, I now can say I can pay for my CRM because I know what a CRM is. I can pay for the cloud-based. My new phone number is going to be on my new truck I pick up today.
Woo-hoo! I love you putting that grant to work, girl. She's not sitting on that money at all. She's like, but you know what? They should have made you come through me with that budget, because I think I could have tightened that up for you a little bit. But
I'm getting the truck for $4,000. We talking an Infinity QX56 for $4,000.
Yeah,
that's not bad. That's not bad at all. Look, she don't have to broker bills for all our cars, okay? Okay, so I do have another, that's really good, because that means we can do next level next year with or without funders getting on board in case they miss the mark and they don't get how important this is. So that's awesome. So one last thing that I want to hit on.
But just remember, VR, you have not because you asked not, and a closed mouth don't get fed.
You know I'm asking, don't you? You know I'm asking. Because I agree with Kelly. I'd like to see this run every quarter. And
yeah,
I'd like
me
to
too.
Extend it out a little bit more and bring on a couple of things you guys talked about. And so let's do that right now. Let's talk about where can we make some basic improvements?
They are, well, I see that Alicia and Venus are still on, and because they were so empathetic, let's not lose them. If you're writing a curriculum
for
to
real.
continue, I'm saying Venus, Alicia, you all are rock solid because just the way that you deliver, you didn't talk down to us. You brought us to a level of understanding as though we were on the same playing field. You were
Yes.
direct in your deliveries. We had fun with it, but it was definitely a wake-up call. So we're not going to change our facilitators. That's what we're not going to do.
Okay, for real.
Okay, we are not going to change the facilitators.
I will beg for some money for you to keep them if I have to, okay?
Okay, so we're not changing facilitators. What else?
Well, we
Hey,
talked
look,
about we talked about assisting you, VR, with some directives, some strategic steps. So coming in for the next class, they have that syllabus per se,
Right.
and they have a step-by-step, they have a timeline. So that's also important to get that commitment from them attending, that they know that they can plug in what's expected in that timeline, because we all found ourselves shifting, getting it done at 1 o'clock in the morning and texting each other. Where are
Okay.
you? How are you? What's going on? What
Yes.
do you need help with? And so
And
even
telling
during the
somebody to go to bed.
even during the pandemic, we could not consider that we were all sitting idle. So that syllabus will help people make those timeline projections and know what they can absolutely commit to. That's going to be important. And we've already committed to helping you with that. We don't want to just give a suggestion and we not help bring it to manifestation.
Yes, yes.
I got 2 trainers in my group, so I know I'm good.
VR,
Okay, so anything else, Kelly?
yeah, VR, I was gonna say, I know after this, I'm still gonna, work with these ladies, help any way I can. But to add like a collaborative component of it, because I know, like, it's just, I mean, maybe it's the odds, but I feel like, Sharon and Vaughn, they're interconnected, myself and Masako, and even Angela, we are all kind of like interconnected. So I think there should be a collaborative piece added where you build a partnership or even a relationship, even if it's just to include them in your marketing or include the other person in your outreach efforts or even your referrals. That should be added as a component. But I'm still going to do my due diligence afterwards, but I think it'll be good to have that piece added as part of the program.
Yeah.
Well, we're coming up on 1 o'clock and we're going to cut Facebook off. But what I did want to remind you guys is, as the cohorts and the fellows, 1, you guys continue your monthly mentoring. 2, you continue to have monthly classes that are specifically designed for you, what you as a cohort has said, this is what we need. And we may open it up to the public if feasible. So you guys are we're going to be together to summer 2021 and longer if you want to, but that's the commitment. And you're getting ready to start your 26-week coaching with our international coaches. And that's your personal building right there, that you're going to get 26 weeks of someone making sure you're a good leader, that you're going to be a good CEO, a good owner. So this session isn't about, oh, what's going on with my business. It's about what's going on with Ron, Bon, Kelly, Angela, Masako, so you can be your best you and bring your best you to your business. So we want to thank everybody that joined us for whatever amount of time they joined us. We're going to hang out a little bit more, but we're going to let Facebook go. Thank you so much. We hope you learned something. And if you missed anything, you can always go back and catch it on Facebook. And of course, we'll be uploading it to our YouTube channel. Again, I'm VR Small, founder and CEO for the Veteran Women's Enterprise Center. If you want to learn more about us, go to veteranwomensec.org and get connected.